Well, happy Monday from the Chicago Cubs. They make their first big free agency splash by signing left-hander Matthew Boyd. This is just going to be a quick instant reaction, and then Matt and I will cover it all tonight. Probably post that tonight and get the full episode in. But I just wanted to get a quick instant reaction for you. And you may not think, well, Sam, do you really need an instant reaction on Matthew Boyd? Yeah, you do, because the Cubs gave him 2 years, $29 million. He will be slotted in the starting rotation for the Cubs. And this is one of the two starters that they are going to acquire. So I believe that this takes some instant reaction and analysis, and it's pretty simple, guys. It's a pretty simple reaction from me, and get used to this because this is going to be my reaction to this offseason because I think I know what's coming. I've warned you about this a lot on the solo shows. There's two ways of looking at this. The first way is in a vacuum, and in a vacuum, I'm intrigued. It's an intriguing signing. Why? You can't look at Matthew Boyd's full career because we live in this day and age where guys are constantly reinventing themselves as pitchers, constantly changing. The variance from year to year from these pitchers is a thing. And he came back from an elbow injury in 2024, and in 39 innings plus 11 in the postseason, he really flashed. In the regular season, he had a 2.72 ERA, struck out 46 guys in those 39 innings, and just he basically became a different pitcher than what he was the prior years, mainly in Detroit. He started using his changeup a lot more, which really kind of changed things for him. No pun intended. Less slider usage, all those things, and he looked really, really good. And so clearly the Cubs scouted him. Clearly the Cubs don't think that it's a mirage. They think that this is a real change, and it's real sustainable, and he's going to take that momentum from 2024, take it right into 2024, take it right into 2025, and the Cubs will get a bargain at that 2-year, $29 million a year range because they think he is the pitcher that we saw in 39 innings in 2024, which slots right into the Cubs rotation. The pessimistic way, the other way to look at it, and I think it's fair to look at it in both ways, is you just wish that if this is their free agent pitching signing, which we don't know, they may sign another guy, or they may trade another guy. Obviously, the Roki thing is a big part of this. But if this is their free agent signing and then they trade for another pitcher like this, you just wish that they weren't looking for guys like this, and they were just going to get guys that they knew were going to be good, in the Max Fried range or whatever that is. So we know this. We know this. My instant reaction is if he's good, it's a great signing. Like if he isn't, everyone's going to ask, why couldn't you just go get more of a sure thing? Why couldn't you just go get a guy that you knew were going to be good? Why did we have to take this risk of a guy that only threw 39 innings last year, even though they were 39 really quality innings? It's that balance. But from a small market perspective, from a ceiling perspective, from a risk perspective, I like the signing. It's a high ceiling signing, but it's not like the Cubs signed him for 2 years, $12 million. I mean, 2 years, 29. He's making basically $15 million a year. He still hasn't cleared his physical. This is per Ken Rosenthal. John Heyman was first to it on the 2 years, 29 and the signing. But on Rosenthal's tweet, he's got to clear his physical first. So technically this isn't official until that happens. But assuming that clears, the Cubs have their first probably of two starters that they're going to add. Now, if the Cubs were to somehow land, Roki Sasaki, then this is great. This is great. If your two additions are Sasaki and Boyd, and you're running out there Imanaga, Steele, Sasaki, Boyd, Tyone, that's a top, maybe a top 2-3 rotation in all of baseball. But if it's Boyd and then it's another guy like a Boyd, like another high ceiling, but a risk type of guy, then it's like, all right, well, there's still going to be some questions here. We'll see. And obviously with Boyd, the injury part of it, you hope that he's completely healthy. Obviously flashed that he was last year. So there's risks in this. This is a This is a type of acquisition that you make when you're being very shrewd and very calculated in the money you're spending and saying, hey, intelligent spending, outperforming projections, all of this signing lines up to that, which of course is going to make you roll your eyes as a Cub fan, but it also doesn't mean it's the wrong guy, and it doesn't mean he's not a good signing and a good player. It's just time will tell. When I found out about this at about 9 or something this morning, whatever it was just kind of like, ah, makes sense, I guess. All right. Okay. He was good last year. Oh, wow. He was really, really good last year. Well, he better be good for this to work, or people are going to be like, hey, why didn't you go get more of a sure thing? So that's my instant reaction. I don't want to crowd too much on what we're going to talk about on tonight's show, but the Cubs make their first big free agency splash. 2 years, $29 million pending physical with Matthew Boyd. And, excited's not the word. I will say cautiously intrigued by this acquisition, but also, of course, wanting more. And maybe we'll get more. It's just one signing, and we haven't even hit the winter meetings yet. And of course, it's nice that there has been activity and the Cubs are active. So cautiously intrigued. I'll have more for you, more details about his stuff, his repertoire and stuff with Matt tonight. Enjoy your Monday. Cubs make a little splash.